Well, it's not an existential question, but certainly the cost of raising capital internationally and the premium that China would have to pay on almost all of its international financial transactions and doing business in general would be higher given the idiosyncrasies of the Chinese system if Hong Kong were not there as an intermediary to smooth out some of those differences. So I think there is a real economic policy value of having Hong Kong continue to be seen as an important international financial sector that operates according to different rules than China. The question is how high that priority is relative to Beijing's other priorities for Hong Kong, which certainly include political stability.
There have been 4 chief executives, haven't there, in Hong Kong since Hong Kong was handed back to Chinese rule. And they've all had that sort of difficult and very, very sensitive balancing act of maybe satisfying those who want a more Western-style democracy and of course, what Beijing wants for Hong Kong. What do you think is the future of democracy in Hong Kong?
Well, I think, first of all, the chief executive job is a very difficult position precisely for the reason that you state, that the aspirations of the Hong Kong population and of the central government leadership are different. I don't think that there will be much progress towards further strengthening of democratic systems and values in Hong Kong in the next few years. Over the longer term, there's some possibility that some of these threads of democratic governance could reemerge, although I certainly wouldn't count on it. I think in the short term, the question is whether some of the other legacies of Hong Kong's differences, particularly the rule of law as opposed to rule by law, and freedom of information, freedom of expression, whether those continue in Hong Kong to any significant extent. If they do, it certainly raises the value of the city, the economic value of the city to China. Whether those values can withstand the pressure coming from the mainland, of course, only time will tell.